We've got a show going on here. I think we do. And we are just under 1 minute before showtime. So we will have showtime coming up. Where is that camera? It's right over there. Okay, so in 1 minute, we will have showtime. Do we have microphones running? Yes, we do. And that's it. Do we have anybody in the room here with me at all? Yes, there is. Me. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'm a Christian guy, remember? Don't forget that part. Okay, so here we go. We are ready to go live. It's been another week. It was, for me, it was a little bit of a stressful week, but not that bad. Well, it was a lot of Zooms. We did a lot of Zooms this week. A lot of Zooms. So I guess I would be interested in how your week is. Lewis, I see you up on the board. We'll start doing the comments in a minute. Let's get the Lewis, you know I did. You watch me like a hawk, big boy, okay? So you know what I eat, you know when I go to bed, you know when I wake up. So don't ask me if I got a haircut. I got a lot of them cut. Isn't that what you used to say when we were in high school? Did you get a haircut? No, I got them all cut. So I got a lot of them cut. How you doing, Lewis? What's going on there, baby? Do you have a day job or a night job? I don't know if you are out working at night or if you're out working in the day or you just like get small jobs here and there. So I was kind of curious about that. And are we live? Did we get live? Yes, we did. The camera's looking all right, Lewis? Do the cameras look okay? A-okay? And there's Craig. I see Craig. I think we better be getting started on this. You are looking wonderful. That's from Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. And he says his week is better now that I'm here. Well, aren't you giving up with the flattering? And I just saw one, Craig. How you doing? Happy end of week. I just saw one of your videos that you, without divulging too much, Peter, can you say that it's leaning in your favor? Are you able to stay in your house? You know something, Craig? I'm not sure. It rises and lowers, kind of like the tides. Well, at one point I'm all excited, and another point it's like, uh-oh. This is really bad stuff. So it's a little bit weird. I don't know what to say. I did make a couple of videos this week, and Rob is here. Rob, I haven't seen you in a while. I love you, big guy. And thank you for being in here. Looking great, Mr. Skinny. Looking sharp, Peter. And looking great, Mr. Skinny. Mr. Skinny. Yes, my weight didn't go down, but I am doing some exercises now. Very mild. I call them sissy exercises because it's like I'm walking basically, 5 to 10 minutes on the treadmill, but he said I have a training coach. So we're trying to do two things at one time. We're trying not to get me sick. We don't want to have like heart problems or anything. And then there's the hernia, so I don't want to wind up in the ER. And then that's the first goal, but he wants to get my circulation up. Is that what is going on here? So Jim Monday, I haven't seen you in a while, Jim. How you doing? So this morning I weighed 161, if anybody's keeping track of my weight. I went all the way down to 158, and I creeped up to 161 as I've been doing 5 to 10 minutes of walking. So what I've been told is it's the longevity of the walking. I'm not doing cardio. Okay, so a more relaxed pace, but a longer pace. But since I haven't done much walking at all, okay, you just said 5 to 10 minutes. So it's a great time for me to do my praying. I get on the treadmill. I used to get on the treadmill and do the watch TV. But now I get on the treadmill. Oh, he did add one thing. When I'm on the treadmill, what's this camera doing here? Hello. What are you in? You're in my my shot. Let's get it off of my little pod, whatever this thing is called, Joby pod, and get it out of the way. There you go. Now the Joby pod can be put away. So, okay, so where was I before I rudely interrupted myself? Oh, besides walking, oh, that was the lens cap. Thank God, I thought it was a plate. Besides walking, he wants me to do something weird, okay? He says, pretend there's like a string right at your belly button and you're pulling it out your back. So he calls it the vacuum. So I'm supposed to suck my gut in, not taking a breath, just pulling my gut in and holding it. The whole time I'm doing the walking. If I could do that for 5-10 minutes, fine. Whatever I could do. That's just a little bit weird, right? So let's say you don't have a treadmill. I have a treadmill. It was given to me by one of you guys, okay, from the show. So let's say you're going to go walking outside, and you're not going to go running because that would be high impact, okay? But now he wants me to pull in the gut and hold it, okay? And I'll tell you, the first 3 or 4 days that was kind of funny because it's a very funny feeling. But now, just when I'm walking around the house or just doing normal walking around, I find myself sucking my gut in. And that's probably activating all the muscles in the stomach, upper stomach, lower stomach, and middle stomach region, okay? And so that's not hard. So the things that I've been told to do are not really hard to do. And so I'm walking on a treadmill very slow, 1.3 miles per hour. It's a stroll, not much to it, kind of like this, okay? So we got that going. And the other thing is to go to a chair. So I got a chair over here, okay? So you go to a chair, okay, you sit down, relax, okay? Sit down, relax. Spread your legs a little bit, not too much. Hands on your knees, okay? Now, just stand up. Sit down. Stand up. Sit down. Do that 20 times. And after about 2-3 days, the muscles all the way down my knees and all the way up to the top here on the front are like painful. But now that pain has pretty much gone away. And I'm doing maybe 16, 17. I'm going like, yeah, I could do that. No problem. There is no problem with that at all. But the last 3 or 4 is actually, I can feel it in my legs. Now, the good thing is when I'm done, I can tell that my circulation is up. My heart is not pounding, but it is beating. So that is telling me that I'm circulating some blood. So I got to be doing something there. Do you think I'm not losing weight because of that? Lewis says, oh, you're like the walking. Okay, I want to try this. Walk and do the vacuum. Pull your gut in tight. Don't hurt yourself. I mean, we're not trying to rip muscles here, tear them. Okay. So Rob says, I pull my gut in when I'm walking around the office. I guess my exercise coach is correct. Guess I'm doing some good while I'm just trying to make my waist look a little bit smaller. So the surprise is I always thought exercise was exercise, okay? I don't know. Can I explain that? I'm not sure. But I always thought exercise was like exercise that made you sweat, made you huff and puff. So I have a workout coach, and he's going, no, we're not doing that with you. We want to just do a low burn of your calories for a longer period of time. I don't want you out of breath. I don't want you to be clutching at your chest like, oh my God, I have chest pain. He says, so you do your walking nice and casual, not even telling you a speed, because I asked him, what speed should I pick? And he said, not even telling you, hi, Tom Buck, I know you're there. And he says, but do the vacuum while you're doing that. And I could tell that my stomach has gotten a little firmer. And Rob, I did get some size 36 pants. As about, see, I knew Tom was coming. No sooner did I say that, he pops right up. That guy is something else. All right, so I went, the pants that I wear is 42s. Okay, I'm a chubby guy. All right, so those pants fall down. The belt is all the way, and I need to actually drill another hole. And even with the belt pulled all the way, the pants still fall down if I just do a little bit of the, you know, a little bit of dance. So I bought a pair of 36, and guess what? I fit into 36. I don't think 15 years old would be I think 15 years old would be a guess as to the last time I was in a size 36 with room to spare. I mean, I could put another person in here who wants to get in the pants with me. That didn't sound right, but I didn't mean it like that, okay? I'm just saying there's a lot of room, you know? It's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you guys, you know that you go up and down with your weight. The the plastic is sweating. Oh, so this sounds like, Lewis is size 38. And my favorite Tom Buck in the whole wide world is here. How you doing, Tom? I was binge watching you the other day. Had kind of like a bad Zoom session with the lawyers, and I was feeling depressed. So anyway, so I figured who I'm gonna watch. I figured Tom Buck's the best guy to watch. So I binge watched you and Heather, and it was really cool. So we got 181 Uplift. What's your name so I could say hi? Okay, so who's Kyle? Kyle, I'll put it together when he comes in. So he's saying, awesome, no junk in the trunk. Yeah, there's still, well, I weigh myself with no clothes, okay, so that I can have the same, you know, every day when I weigh myself, it's the same. It's not like I'm wearing heavier clothes or lighter clothes. But I do have like a full length mirror on the back of the door. Well, it still looks like I have a roll of fat here. That's got to go. Okay, it's got to go. And that's why I'm more excited now about getting a little bit more toned than I was before. Hi, Jerry, 181 Uplift. You know, you almost sound like an exercise coach. I'm not doing 181 of anything, unless that's your address or your zip code or your, what do they call that? Area code. His name is Jerry. So, hi, Jerry. So, what is the 181 Uplift for? That is, I like that. What movie was I? Oh, Christmas movies are all over the place. I am so happy. And now we've got a new competition for Hallmark. We got 2 competitions for Hallmark. The Hallmark Christmas movies, okay? So they have 3 channels, and they play Christmas movies on 2 of them. And then the 3rd one, let me get the ring finger up there, okay? The 3rd one, no, that's not the bird finger, that's the ring. That's right next to the pinky, okay? So the 3rd one, maybe 40% of the time. But the executive, or one of the top, if not the top executive, from Hallmark left. Let's see, Norm is here. Hi, Norm. Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening, Greggies around the world. Thank you for liking my haircut. And Lewis also noticed my haircut. So it's something that I appreciate that you made that comment. Yes. So Hallmark, let's say the chief executive, but it might not be him, okay? But one of the top guys left. And that person bought, I'm sure he got a little group together, GAC network. And they've got 2 channels. I think one is the Family Network and the other one is the GAC. And they're programming it like Hallmark. So they've made 18 Christmas movies to kick off the new channel. I don't know if you've got it on whatever you're watching. Look for GAC, and they've just switched to Christmas 24/7. and they pulled a whole bunch of people from Hallmark and brought them over to the GAC channel, and now they're making Christmas movies there that are going to be very competitive to Hallmark. So I could wake up at 4 in the morning or not be sleeping or not be sleepy, and I could just turn on the TV and get the my Christmas movies. So I forgot his name already. Jerry, where are you? Oh, yep, it is Jerry. So he says, it's my video company. I do documentaries and small business staff meeting broadcasting. That ... So that's what it's called. It's Uplift Videos. It kind of sounds like the Up channel. Oh, the Up channel is the third one. Uplifting movies. I don't know what Up channel stands for, but Reba's on there every night. I love watching Reba. I used to want to marry her. I thought she was so freaking sexy. So, let's see. I want to be able to star in a Hallmark movie. That sounds like fun. Well, you know, the Hallmark movies are made in Canada. I would say 7 or 8 out of the 10 movies that are made by Hallmark are made actually in Canada. Not 100%, but most of them are Canadian. Didn't you do some work there as an extra or something? So that sounds like right up your alley. We got a whole bunch of people. So let's switch over to cameras for a second, okay? So this week we did, Jim is welcoming Jerry. Jerry, wake up, don't fall asleep on me. Wake up. I know you're not. I tease everybody, don't get. Peter, what's your favorite movie? That's not a fair question. That whatever one I'm watching, okay? I do have some that I keep saying, oh, that's my favorite one. But I can't remember the names of it. There's so many good ones out there. So, what was I? Oh, we were going over to cameras. So this was a big week in cameras. We've got the G, not the G. Let's get the right letter here. Okay, the R, which is, oh, it got itself confused. Look, it's saying Nikon ZFC when this is the R6. This is not the ZFC, it's the R6. All right, so let's take a risk of crashing real quick. I can't do it. I was going to try to switch profiles while I was live from one to the other, but it won't let me. I thought I was going to be able to do that and fix it. So this is the R6, and we don't have, maybe if I would just restart it. Okay, so I just restarted the cameras that go round and round automatically. Okay, so Jerry, I've got this set up so that my cameras will change automatically for me. It makes it look like I actually have a director. So now it says R6. Now on this TV that I'm watching, which is a 40-inch TV, it looks a little bit yellow. How does it look to you guys? Which is crazy for me to ask because everybody's got a different monitor, phone, iPad. You got a Windows computer, you've got a Mac computer, and everybody is going to be looking at it different. And so this is what? This is a Toshiba 40-inch 4K television set. And so it's connected with an HDMI cable. So this is the ZFC because I got the Nikon ZFC way up in the corner, okay? So actually that did, it did fix it up. Okay, so anyway, back to the camera news. Okay, so we got the XT5 that came, and we got the R6 Mark II that came. The week before, Sony did the ZV-1F. Is that the correct one? Aaron is here. How you doing, Aaron? I think that Aaron is actually beating me in losing weight. He started right after me, and bam! I think he stopped eating. Did you stop eating, Aaron? What? How come you lost weight so much faster? Maybe my weight was more stubborn. So I haven't sung anything in a while. So I do want to make some Christmas movies. Back to the camera. So we got the R6 Mark II, and on the R6 Mark II, they address the major issues, the Canon R6 Mark II, that the Canon R6 Mark I, if you want to call it that, this one right here that you're looking at now. So it actually, they took away the 30-minute recording limit, which for many people that's important. For me, I don't really do something for 30 minutes, so it doesn't bother me. Okay, so they actually help with the overheating. So yeah, I would like to get the R6 Mark II, but I think it's going to cost me like $500 or $600 to move into that camera. Randy, my God, Randy, I've called you 4 or 5 times. There's just no way to get through to you, big buddy. It's just like I am like itching to talk to you. So I'm so glad that you're here. Now I know that somebody is watching. I lost my place. Let's go. Okay, I left off at Aaron. Peter, where did you go? And I got thinner, but it's still the big shirt. Okay, look. Well, when I moved to the other camera, so okay, so look, all of this from here to here. That's a lot, because this shirt used to be like, you know how when you're got a tight shirt and it pulls like that a little bit? Okay, so it used to be pulling. Now, who wants to get in this shirt with me? 2 people for Halloween. So, let's see. So where did I leave off? Boop, boop, fasting. Lewis says fasting. Randy is saying hi to Lewis. Hey, Lewis, Lazuka, you're popular. Do you fast? Yeah, but not the kind that you think. I do what's called intermittent fasting. I might not eat until, I don't know, 3, 4 in the afternoon. Thank you for Lewis getting me back on track. So the R6 Mark II, they addressed the overheating issue a little bit. They probably changed the temperature where it goes into overheating. Took away the 30-minute recording limit, and they allowed me to be able to use the custom presets, because I really want to take the camera down and go use it, okay? But I'm afraid to, because I have gum. It's a mint gum, okay? Because I can't write down the settings. I mean, yeah, I have to write them down. I can't assign them like I can with the R7. So the R7, which is the one that I want Lewis to get, you can save 3 settings for video and then another 3 settings for pictures. So for the R6, can't do that. Only 3 settings for the pictures. But I'm very heavy into video. Okay, Lewis, right up the road. Hey, how's the weather up there, Lewis? He's up there. Mr. Camera Junkie is Lewis. We have 2 Lewises in here. So we're kind of like within shouting distance, just a few miles down the road. And so he's saying hi to everybody. And Randy says he's having phone problems. Okay, so let's try to get those solved, so I could call you and talk to you. Aaron says, I'm half the man. Is there a song, I'm half the man I used to be? Oh, somebody asked Lewis how his sister's doing. She's doing well. She says hi to Aaron. So now we know who asked. Aaron asked Lewis how his sister is. And how's your grandmother doing? So he's saying great to hear. So we got Sean Sebran. I haven't seen you. Have I seen you in here before? Hey, Mr. Gregg, it's Peter. Seriously, it's been a while. It's been so a while that I'm not remembering your name, but I do remember Trinidad and Tobago. By the way, the Canon 90D is still going great. I love it. Now that's the kind of report I like to hear. So bring me up to date, Sean. What are you doing? Who are you doing it with? How long you been doing it? And why are you doing that? Okay, so good to see you, Sean and Jerry. We got a few people that haven't normally come in. So that's what we've got. And Aaron says, yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Does this mic work? Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. I'm gonna get my broom and sweep them out. Okay, enough with the singing. I just dropped another. There we go. I need to get a little box for these caps. So, Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie says, Aid and I are well. Weather is fine. I was joking with the weather. We have the same weather. Okay. So, yeah, what is my buddy Aiden doing? I miss that kid. How much bigger did he get? The last time I was able to pick him up and hold on, and he just clung, you know. So, are you still able to pick him up? So, and Aaron is feeding me the words suddenly. Ba-da-la-la-la-la-la-la. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. So, Aaron says half. So, we got the Fuji XC5, which it looks like I'm getting a little confused with the Fuji line. Why so many of the same cameras? Well, one's got higher megapixels, one's got more lower. The XC5 is pretty much an everyman's camera, so it would compete with the R7. So, I'm liking the R7. Okay, let me show you guys something. I moved the Nikon. I moved it over here. Hello? Wrong way. Okay, so this way I could show you things, and I have a camera where I could show you what I'm doing. What I really should have is like an overhead camera. Now, if I just hold this still, that's the one thing I don't like with the Fuji, is that it seems to drift in and out. Okay, so this is the Canon R7. This is the camera, Louis Lazuka. This is the one I want you to get. See, now it's focusing on whatever the heck that is. It looks like something that needs to be thrown out. Okay, and this is the 16mm lens, which makes it a 24mm on here. So now it's having a hard time focusing on me. Okay, that's something I was a little bit surprised. So the Nikon does better when it's farther away, kind of like perched up on the tripod section there. Which we got one there, we got one there, we got one there, and then we got the Nikon over here. Might be the lens too. So Jerry says the Fuji system is so far away. Anyway, for me. So I don't know what that means, so far away. To me, that means, I don't know what it means. So I don't have any Fuji lenses. So, I mean, I could add a Micro Four Thirds, because I got quite a few Micro Four Thirds. I got Nikon lenses, I got Canon lenses. I got the Sony E-mount. I think I got 4 or 5 of those lenses, so I can add those. So when the R6 pops back up, okay, which it should any second, I'm thinking of putting it up for sale. I'll lose a few $100s, and then get the R6 Mark II, is what I'm thinking. So, what's the importance of the R6 Mark II? It's like Canon's got the biggest share of the market, and yet for quite a while I haven't had the representation here from Canon. I have everything else but the Canon. So, where did you go? Who was I talking to a few seconds ago? Let me find it. Aaron, Randy, Lewis, Aaron, Lewis, Aaron, Lewis, Aaron, Randy, Mr. Camera Junkie, Lewis. She says she's doing fine. Here, Sean. So, Sean, tell me what you're doing, what you're up to. I'm trying to jog my memory because I remember Trinidad and Tobago, but I don't remember. Well, wait a minute. I think I do remember the avatar because I think I said, looks like a movie star. Did I say that to you, Sean? You look like a movie star? Okay. Well, if that's you, okay, then I do remember. And then this is Jerry, a 181. Oh, uplift! I'm going to do that when I sit and do my sit stands in the chair. Uplift! I'm singing. You need a singing microphone. Imagine me and you, I do. Da 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 la la da da. Da 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 da. Something about dice. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together. So I'm trying to pick out some songs. Obviously, I'm going to do something Christmas. If you're not aware, the guys that have been here a while, Gregg TV. Gregg TV. You can actually put the @ sign, Gregg TV now on YouTube, and it'll recognize it. So I can put @Gregg TV, @Peter's Kitchen, which is another channel, and @just Peter Gregg. So that's good. They're implementing. They're gonna shore. The YouTube is gonna shore themselves up because Twitter is doing a lot of talking about plans of enlarging their video base. So it really comes down to money. People come on YouTube because, first of all, they're broadcasting. That's the first thing. Okay, then the second thing is after they've been broadcasting for a while, then it's like, oh, I can get monetized. And then they try to, okay, so I did say that about you. That's me, the movie star. Can I get your autograph? Okay, just remember, I love all you guys and I pray for everybody that comes in here. Every night, I have a prayer list because I can't remember. Like, Sean, you're getting prayed for every night because I started to write the names down of everybody that comes in here. So I've got the movie star. We have a movie star. We have a psychiatrist. We have a couple of professional singers and players, guitar players. We got people from Canada. We got people from Australia, Trinidad and Tobago. Better say that. Okay, so, all right, wait a minute. Jerry asked the question and I missed it. Jerry. Any thoughts? I found it. Any thoughts on getting the R6 Mark II versus the FX30? I have a Canon R6, which is what I'm using here. It'll rotate in a few minutes. And also an R5. I like the R6 a lot, okay? I just don't like the fact that, hey, I want to grab the R6, and this is an R7. I want to grab the R6, and I want to go out and take it with me. And so I'm changing settings and stuff. So I want to be able to come back and put it back to one of those settings. That's what the R6 Mark II will do for me. The difference between 20 and 24 is not that great, to be honest. I mean, yeah, sure, I'll take the 24. It's like somebody says, oh, here, you want $100? Yes. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to say no. Lewis is saying thank you for everything. No, it's not 11 o'clock yet, Lewis. Don't make it sound like I'm going to go to sleep now. Okay, so I don't know what we can get for the R6 right now. If I could get $2,000 or $2,100, it'll cost me what, $500 or $400 to move to the R6 Mark II, and it'll take care of the overheating. What they did is they added a new sensor. You notice they didn't put it in the firmware. Isn't that a little bit silly? Because they updated the firmware on the R5, where you have an overheating button that you could push, which basically changes whatever sensors in the camera and it raises it up a little bit, okay? Before it decides it's gonna overheat. So they have that on the R7 and they have that on the R5, but they didn't put it in the R6 because there's an R6 Mark II coming out. So they don't want people like, oh, I don't need that, you know, and not buy it. But for me, I haven't really had an overheating problem, although the fan is supposed to be blowing on the R6, and somehow I moved it, so I just put it back. Everything's fine. Don't get up. Everything's fine. I'm dropping things. Oh, my headphones fell to the floor. So what are these? These are Sennheiser HD 280 Pros. So that is supposed to be a very good headset. Okay, I'm back in the picture. Hey, stay focused on me. So now the XT5 would be competing with it, with the R7, because they're both $1,500. So that would be something that you'd have to say, what can you get for $1,600? You can get the XT5, get the R7. I think Sony has something in there, but all the camera companies have kind of moved it up to the $2,400 bucks, $2,400 dollars. Okay, so we're in the $2,400 whatchamacallit. That's our entry level for some decent cameras now. Lewis says, I can get monetized. Yes, you certainly can. You got to have what you need. So Sean says, when I got the 90D a while ago, I got the 18 to 55 kit lens. Plus I bought the 10 to 18. I have that one. That's an awesome, yes, 10 to 18. And believe it or not, I didn't expect much out of this 10 to 18 lens. And it is one of my favorite lenses. And the 50 millimeter prime as well. Now I'm thinking of getting the 55 to 250 for some extra reach. That is going to make it actually be very fun, those that reach. So Randy says, Peter, QQQ, what's the difference between a stack sensor to a dual sensor? I don't know what a dual sensor is. That would mean there's two sensors. So I'm going to have to look that one up, Randy. I know a stack sensor is, there's two pieces to the sensor. The electronics are on one piece, and the pixels that read the light is on the second one, and they put them together, and it becomes what's called a stack sensor. So a dual sensor is something that I couldn't give you the definition. So you got me on that one, Randy. You got me. But I could look that up. What camera's got the dual sensor? Now remember, a while back there was three sensors: an R, a G, and a B for the camcorders, and that was that's what. Okay, so the Z6, that's the Nikon, has a dual sensor. The Z6 Mark II has a dual sensor. Okay, not knowing the answer. Okay, let me start off by saying that. So not knowing the answer to that question, my guess would be it's got two native ISOs, a lower and a higher. So what happens, let's say that the lower is like 200, 400, and that would be considered like most cameras that we all have. It's like the 90D that Sean was just talking about. So dual X-Speed 6 means it's two processors. Okay, so the X-Speed 6 is the processor, so it has two processors in there. But let me get back to what I'm saying. Even though it's the wrong answer, some cameras like the Panasonic GH6 have a dual native ISO. When it at 2500 ISO, it starts all over again. Meaning if you were at ISO 2000, you got a lot of noise. You got a lot of noise in your picture and your videos. But if you go to ISO 2500, all of a sudden the noise drops way down because they have the sensor set to deal with dual ISO levels. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I think it is primary to help with the speed as well, like a dual processor in a computer link. In the computer, I think. I'll get it, Jerry. I get it. Yeah. So the if it's got the dual X-speed processors, it's kind of like the flagship from Canon, the 1DX Mark III, and I'm guessing the R1 will probably have dual processors because it sucks the stuff off of the sensor very quickly. Okay, so Sean, I was trying to take a picture of an iguana in a tree, but my 18 to 55 just couldn't handle the distance. Yeah, but the 90D is pretty good, so you could probably crop in, I would say 180%, possibly even 200%, which will basically double it. So what you got. So, but yeah, the 55 is not the one for that. Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, says the Z6 II has dual processors, so it does have dual processors. Louis Lazuka is saying, Sean, walk closer. They run. The iguanas, you can't get too close to them. Okay, so he's laughing. He's saying, I'll try to get closer. Yeah, we got iguanas down here. It's got dual processors instead of a SAC sensor. Thanks, everybody. Okay, it's got dual processors, but I don't think it replaces a stack sensor. A stack sensor does something else. It moves the electronics off of the part that reads the pixels. Okay, so have you used the RF 16 millimeter? Is it any good? So I do have it. I have it on this camera right here. How do I get to that camera? Well, gee, if I don't know, who knows? Okay, that's the wrong one. This is the right one. Okay, so here's the 16 millimeter. You've got to go opposite to the way that you think it's supposed to be. Okay, so now, you're going to give me trouble focusing here? Come on, Nikon, what's your problem, baby? There we go. Okay, so that is the 16 millimeter RF, and I would say this is my second favorite lens, right there. That one. And it is so small. Look at how on the body, it's not quite a pancake, but it actually, it makes this camera so light. It's like, woo, like, wait, don't go flying, come back down, okay? Let's make sure I got it off. So, my favorite lenses is the 16 millimeter RF lens, and I like the 35 millimeter RF lens, and this one has image stabilization, so it adds to the camera's stabilization. And it seems like the image stabilization on the new R cameras, it's going to rise up with a problem. Okay, it's being said here and there, but Randy is the one that made me think of it. There's warbling that goes around on the edges, corners. Okay, so Randy said, I have compared the RFS 24 millimeter to the EFS 24 millimeter. EF are quieter, but the RF are sharper. They're doing something with the RF lenses to make the quality higher, and then they've got two tiers: really cheap and let's get, how high can I get? Really expensive. Okay. So Randy did buy the 24 millimeter, the RFS, which means it's good for a crop sensor camera, but not a full frame. So if I wanted to put that on this camera, that lens that Randy has, this camera would automatically switch and go to the crop, the 1.6 crop mode. Yes, Randy says the jello effect. I see more people talking about that jello effect now, Randy. So I think that's going to slowly build, and I hope it's something that they can start to experiment to getting a firmware update, because it's in more than one camera. And I know you've experienced that heavily. We've talked quite a bit about that. So Lewis says, Peter, what do you recommend for me to buy? The iPhone 14 Pro Max, or save money with the 12 Pro Max, or go all the way to the R7? Well, I know you got a phone because we text each other, and so it's an iPhone, so I don't know what number you have. If you wanted to save money, you want to go to the 13. The 13 is the plateau where they made some major differences, and the 14 has got minor differences, but it's still a better phone. But if you want it to drop down by one, the 13 is going to hold their value because they're very good phones. Or to max out and go all the way to the R7. Bum, pa-dum, bum. Didn't I tell you what to buy? I think I did. I think I told you what to buy. So I think you can answer that question for me. Why don't you ask Randy? Randy has had so many different cameras in there and here. He says, Randy, I hate to say this, Peter, but I am liking the R10 better than the R7. So the R10 is what, $900, $1,000? So that's actually a pretty good buy. I mean, you're going to miss a few things. You don't have the dual card slots. There's no image stabilization, stuff like that. But Randy has had, you know, a lot of hands-on with the different cameras. Now, he hasn't had the R6 in there. Which one is the R6? This one. Okay, I put my hands on the correct one. Okay. So really, Randy, why? Because Randy's had a lot of hands-on with the cameras. So that's why, that is why I think Randy is a good call. So Nikon is the one, actually Nikon right now is sitting in a way where if I had to pick out one camera for the rest of my life, it would be the Nikon Z9, okay? But Nikon is not playing the game that well. They need to be a little bit more aggressive. Put what the people want in those Nikon bodies, okay? So Carlos is here. Your haircut looks great, Peter. Sorry, I am late to the party. It's always good to see you. And then if you miss me, pick up the phone and call. What's the matter? What's the matter for you, Carlos? I should call him Oscar. He's a friend. Motivated Minds has got a channel. I think everybody in here has a channel. Let's see, who I'm not sure that has a channel. Sean, do you have a channel, Sean? Hey, handsome dude, don't fall asleep on me. You got a YouTube channel? If you do, let me know. I'd like people to know. So you did say R7 or the 14 Pro Max. So I'm putting a little bit of a choice in your hands, and I think you can handle that, right? So if you wanted to save a little money, you could buy the R13 and then save and buy the R7. The R7, I think I just put a video up on with the R7. It's a grab and go camera, and now with the FV mode in there, you got all the buttons right here. You just tap. Let's turn this guy on. Okay. Now let's see if I can get close with this. All right, down. Okay, see on the bottom? Let's get closer. Let's freak this Nikon out. Okay, so I don't think it's quite in focus. No, it's not quite in focus. Come on, you can do it. If I'd stop moving the ding-dong camera around. Okay, so you have complete manual mode across the bottom, and you've got every other mode that you want right there. It's all kind of like built in on that FV mode. that FV mode is just astonishingly good. That is one of the best features on the R7. So let's turn it off so I don't kill the battery. So Sean says, yes, I have a sim racing channel. So what does sim mean? What does sim mean? The sim racing channel. Is that a type of racing? Is it like, is it a video game? Maybe it's a video game. Bop, bop, bop. So Randy says, yes, the video that you made with the R7 and the FV mode. Yeah, I got creative all of a sudden. I just made like 2 videos, boom, one after the other. Simon's in the room with us. Simon has been burning the candle at both ends, making, he did the live show. First of all, he says, hi, Peter, happy Friday, and all the Greggs in the world. And let's see. So Simon introduced the R6 Mark II live. I think, did you do a 2-hour or 1-hour show? So I was in there trying to be helpful, keep things rolling. But he went up to 700 people that came in the channel. I mean, that's crazy. 700 people on the live stream. Boy, if anybody gets an award, it's Simon. So Randy's asking Simon, hi, what do you think of the R6 Mark II? So Simon, tell him what you think of the R6 Mark II. So let's see where I left off. Simon says, in 2020, I might very well have potent hat instead of the R5. The video modes are much better. So 2 hours, Peter. So he did a live stream for 2. So what were you trying to say, Simon? In 2020, I might very well have something instead of the R5. I know you had the whatchamacallit. Oh, so you had, it was 3,600 in an hour. What the heck happened? Did I lose track? I saw you go up to 700. Where did the 3,600 come from? Wow, that is crazy. So Sean, so Simon has the Ordinary Filmmaker channel, and he is becoming the king of the quads. Oh no, that's the skater. Sorry. He's becoming the king of the, whatchamacallit, the live channel and the recorded channel that breaks the news. It's just, it's amazing how Simon has just changed gears. Now, we go from Simon to Sean. We got all the S's in here. Sean, I make videos with my driving racing simulator. But I think you told me the name of your channel there somewhere. Where did I see it? Okay. Simon says, I tried to say, let me click on it first. I tried to say I might very well have gotten the R6 II instead of the R5. The R6 II video modes are much better. Yeah, the R6 Mark II, I'm tempted, or not tempted. What is it? I'm drawn to it. It's just financially right now with the crap that's going on, I can't even think about it unless I could try to sell the R6, which is what we're looking at. How you doing, R6? What if I hold my hands up? What are you going to focus on? I haven't done like a really good focus test. Is it focusing on my hands or my face? And then my face. No. So it doesn't grab the hands all that quick. But then I have it set to a slow switchover because I don't like the changes of the focus. So yeah, the R6 Mark II I think is going to be a good seller. And even I want to get one of those. And so 3,600 total views in an hour. Back to the R6 Mark II. It does 6K oversampling for 4K at up to 60 frames per second. No record limit, and all the other goodies that are in there. It could, I think they they did probably what they did with the R5 and the R6 Mark II. I mean, the overheating is still there, but it has now been pushed to the background. So let's see. Is there a cheaper macro lens that I can use with the 90D besides the 100mm L to get close-up shots of components on circuit boards? I don't know about cheaper. So you've got to see which macros they have. And I don't have their catalog memorized, but they have the 100mm f2.8 macro. That's not an L lens, and it gets closer. Now, I don't know the distance. So the higher you get, it's the higher that the closer that you can get. So the 180 is kind of Canon's sitting in the sweet spot, but that's an L lens, which is going to bring up the price for you, Sean. So Ordinary Filmmaker said Canon C-Log 3. Well, we're looking at Canon C-Log 3 right now. This camera is not the Sony E10. This camera is the Canon R6. So this is the Canon R6, but not the Mark II, it's the Mark I. Okay. So the settings for this camera right now is the C-Log 3. So you're actually looking at C-Log 3, and I'm using the Ecamm software, and the Ecamm software allows me to put in a LUT. So I have the LUT on here. So Simon says yes, the 100mm, the EF macro, because they have another 100mm, which is more favorite to me, but it's not a macro, it's a 2.0. So Canon has a 2.0 100mm, which is that close to being an L lens, but it's not an L lens, okay? So it's kind of like an under-the-radar sleeper lens for Canon, but it's not a macro lens. So they have the macro, which is a 100mm 2.8 macro EF lens. So yes, those are the ones that I would go. So Simon says, Peter, did the new thumbnail design help? Well, I did what you taught me on both of them, okay? And the last video I did where I'm explaining the FV mode is one of my better videos, but it's not gaining any traction. So I switched that thumbnail a couple of times and it's not doing anything, but that's the video that people need to watch, because when the Canon people that have the R cameras, when they latch on to the FV mode, they're going to be really pleasantly surprised. So Scotty just got in, and he just got in the door. So you were out and about? Where were you going? What were you doing? I don't know what you were doing. I thought you were staying home. Well, now you'll be up all night, right? You'll be watching videos, maybe you're watching Hallmark Christmas movies, and stuff like that. And there we go. Okay. Oh, I meant to turn that off. Sorry. So there we go. So Simon says for me to call him tomorrow. Oh, the emotion is surprised. I put addicted. Okay, I'll change it again. I don't care. So that's fine. So Scotty was out on a date that I don't think went all that well. I'm sorry to hear that, Scott. I know it's a rough one. Did I drop another? Let me just check. Yes, I did. That's the one I was looking for. That's the one I was looking for. Okay. Gonna have to get the little box to put them in. So Scotty's on a bad date. It's over though, right? You can go take a shower, wash off the stink from that bad date, and just do another date. So addiction is not an emotion. Okay, I need to watch that video, Peter. Yeah, and say something too. It's actually one of the better videos in terms of getting some information to people. And of course, it's not going to do well. Then if I do a silly video, it does very well, and it doesn't convey all that much. So that's what we got. Hey, Charles is here. Hello, Peter. Sorry I'm late. Were you on a date too? How did your date go? Because Scotty's didn't go so hot. Scott says I look marvelous. I've been exercising, but I haven't lost any more weight, which is a little bit disappointing. I like it when I see the, the scale go down. Sean says, thanks for the information. You're welcome. Thank you for coming in and saying hi again. I appreciate that. Took me a while to recognize and remember who you were. Wow. Well, I just had a birthday in October, so I turned 69. So that might explain. I didn't get close enough to catch her cooties. Wow, that's not even a bad date. That's like a stinko date. Oh well, it's such as it is. If you don't buy a lottery ticket, you can't win the lottery. If you don't, one of my good friends tells me if you don't put a video out there, it can't go viral. So that's what we got going on there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for being with me tonight. We have done our hour show, and I'm going to go and see what kind of a Christmas movie is on one of the 3 Christmas channels that we got now. And we'll catch you again on the next Friday, which will be in November. We're going to get closer to Thanksgiving. So I have to cook the turkey. So I was picked to cook the turkey. And if anyone else, what are you picked for? Let me know in the comments below this video if you're watching this video after it's over. All right, love you guys. I pray for each and every one of you every single day. Yes, I do. So if you want to be in on that prayer, put a comment in the video below the video, okay? Because now we are done with the live part, and now it'll be in the repeat. So make sure you say hello in the comments under the video. I read them. Have a good one. Good night to everybody. Bye-bye.